Joel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
It is so nice of you to come and hang out for a minute, man. We're going to have a really good time just to kick it around a little bit, man. Without question, good to see you, man.
Good seeing you, too. Where are you at the moment?
Where? Oh, I'm at home. I'm at my house in Florida.
Oh, okay.
I live in Palm Beach.
Okay.
No, this is good, man. I love the warm weather. I can't handle cold weather at all.
I love the cold weather.
You do? You ain't never been to Minnesota.
That's crazy, especially because I'm from Africa and it's so hot over there. I don't know how, but I love when it's cold.
Are we rolling? Yes? Among the league's best all-around players, there is one giant who can dominate in the paint on offense, protect the rim on defense, and do everything else too.
Jumper, it's good. Joel Embiid does it again.
His amazing basketball journey that started in Cameroon is even more remarkable. Today, I get to spend a little time with the Philadelphia 76ers superstar center, Joel Embiid.
He is unstoppable.
And it's all coming up next on NBA Rewind with Ahmad Rashad. Allow me to introduce my man here because he is a six-time NBA All-Star, the league's leading scorer in 2022, a multiple winner of the Player of the Week award in the Eastern Conference this season, including back-to-back weeks in March, a multiple winner of the Player of the Month award in the East too, and one of the leading contenders for the Most Valuable Player award. This is Joel Embiid, my man. Thank you very much for being here, man.
Of course. Happy to be here.
So here's what I want to talk about, because your history, you know, when I read all the things, first of all, how did your career get started? You know, because you didn't start playing basketball till you were 15 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long story. You know, it's kind of, if we started talking about it, it'd take us hours. But I mean, the way it started, I was playing volleyball, and you know, by the time I turned 16, even then, before that, I always wanted to play basketball. My dad just didn't want me to because he thought the game was physical. And the way I fell in love with basketball, I was watching, you know, Lakers, Celtics, you know, finals. That's how Kobe became my favorite player. The Lakers became my favorite team, and that's how I fell in love with the game. Luc Baumute came back to Cameroon. He had a camp in Cameroon. They had these pre-selections where they were going to choose about 50 guys to be part of really his camp. I missed the first day because I had just started playing basketball, and I was like, there's no chance I'll make it, you know, to his camp, because there was so many guys I had, you know, they've been playing for so many years, and so I missed the first day. And then the second day, I ended up, you know, I was forced to actually go. And then as soon as I went, you know, I showed a little something, and, you know, he ended up picking me for his camp. And then from there, that's where I started getting more opportunities, and I went to his camp. I was one of the 5 to be picked to go to Basketball Without Borders in South Africa.
Go. Come on, hit my head. Yeah!
I was chose to go to South Africa for the Basketball Without Borders. Just being around like other African basketball players, that was one of my dreams. You get to learn from the best NBA coaches, players. That was like one of my best memories.
So the thing about it is, when you hadn't played but you really wanted to play, how tough was it going out to practice and playing against these guys that had been playing their whole life, and this was like your second day trying to play? How tough was that?
It was, I mean, I had just started playing basketball, like, it was probably like 3 months before that. And, you know, that's really the reason why I didn't want to go in the first place, because I'm like, yo, like, these guys, you know, they're stronger than me. They've been playing their whole lives. They're better than me. So, like, why should I even go? Because I'm not that good. I just started playing, and there's no point. So, you know, playing against them, you know, it was tough. But I think the fact that I like basketball so naturally, and that's what I wanted to do. I think, from there, I didn't really care about it. I just wanted to find ways to try to get better and, compete against those guys.
One of the things I also can remember, and this is one of the times I'd seen you play in this capacity, was in South Africa. I was at the game when you played in an all-star game, and I had never seen anybody 7 feet tall play point guard, you played all you can, brought the ball up, you everything that you did. It was nobody that big has ever done that. You take three-pointers, you drive into the basket, you got great passes, great assists, that whole thing. And at that's the point I came back, and I said, everybody I saw, I said, hey, this brother can play. He can play any position on the court.
Well, that's why I put in so much work in, to be able to get this type of compliments where people understand that, I'm able to do, everything on a basketball court. That's where I wanted to get to. So, yeah, it is nice to be in this position, and as far as a complete basketball player where you can just do about anything on a basketball floor.
Now, you say Akeem Olajuwon was one of your guys that you used to watch. Did you learn a lot of things by watching him play that you incorporated into the way you play?
Yeah, I watch a bunch of guys. I'll be honest with you, I've always been attracted more to the guards. So Kobe, MJ, those are the guys that I really, really paid attention to. And obviously, naturally, as a big, people are always talking to you. Obviously, you want to watch the Akeem, the Shaq, Dirk, and all that stuff, and kind of, pick whatever you like from each one of them and add to your game.
You have that dream shake that Akeem had. I know you got that from Akeem, but let me just take a look at this piece of tape.
Is he one of your heroes, Akeem?
Yeah, he's one of my idols. Favorite all time.
Embiid who can handle. He's got Whitney in his sights. He shows and he goes. Vintage Akeem Olajuwon.
After people were telling me about him, I saw some YouTube, some of his game, and I was very, very impressed how he was moving.
Modeled his game after Akeem Olajuwon. Didn't start playing basketball until he was 15.
The movement that I know that, wow, I can see myself.
Somewhere Akeem Olajuwon is smiling because that's who that looked like.
Olajuwon for three. Yes!
It's only fitting.
That's pretty interesting, isn't it?
When I learned about the game and I started playing, Akeem, we always kind of had a lot of similarities. He started playing at 15. I started at 16. He was, I think he was, he played soccer. I did play soccer, so there was always a lot of similarities. And, the way we both started and, the way our career has gone, especially as a big, there's no better guy to just look up to, just to watch. You're trying to learn how to play the game, especially offensively. And, I think what separates him from everybody else is his defense. And I think he was the best defender of all time.
I want you to take a look at this. Akeem just sent me this and wanted me to let you see it. Can you put the text I sent? There it is. This is what he sent me this morning. Let Joel know, Joel, I'm cheering for him. Definitely, he's the MVP this year. Good luck in the playoffs. Hope to catch up with you one day, Akeem.
That's a little nicer than what he said a couple of weeks ago.
Well, people must change, I guess.
No, I was kind of disappointed, from what was said a couple of weeks ago because, he doesn't owe me anything. I just felt like the advice that I've gotten from, bigs from the past I had, that dominated the league, whether it was Shaq or Akeem. It's always about, you got to live in the post, you got to be dominant in the post. But the way the game is played these days, it's kind of hard to just live in the post. Like, it's impossible. Like, it's easier to double. You know, it's easier to just, like, it's not good offense. So that's why you kind of have to be good inside and good outside too. So, you know, what he said, and I was kind of disappointed because I was like, yeah, I can do that, but that's just not gonna help my team, and that's not gonna help me. You know, like I said, I was disappointed, but I'm kind of happy to see that text. That meant a lot.
Fantastic, because when he told, he was very, very, very proud of you. And you know, the thing is that you've just taken it to another level. There are people that can't play like you. They can't play any position on the court. They can only play down low in the post or whatever it is. But the thing about you is positionless, which I heard you say one time. You play as if there is no position. We're just playing. So to be able to play, you know, a point guard or play wherever it is, that how am I gonna guard you? I can't. I can't guard you.
Yeah, it's impossible. I mean, if you want to put a stronger guy or a strong guy, then he won't be able to move. If you want to put a quick guy, then I'm on the block and I'm taking advantage of my strength. And or I'm going on the perimeter where I'm able to shoot threes and, you know, handle the ball, pull up, you know, crossover, behind the back, anything. So I worked a lot to try to become a complete basketball player. And, you know, I'm just happy that the work that I put in is paying off. And, you know, what excites me is the chance of, you know, going out and try to win a championship.
You have really put in a lot of work because you have all those elements to your game. And where does that come from? Where does that never say die attitude come from? Is that your parents, or have you always just been that way? I mean, because it would have been easy for you to just walk away and go, hey, I can't play this game, as opposed to saying, not only am I going to play it, I'm going to be one of the best players that's ever played it.
I think it comes from the way I was raised, and then also watching my dad growing up. My dad was a great handball player, and I always went to all his games, and he was really good. And, you know, people feared him, and, you know, like I said, he was really good. So watching him, you know, with his team, they won a lot. So that was a standard for me, and, you know, that competitive nature. So from the time that I started playing basketball, I was like, I got to be better than my dad. You know, I got to make sure, you know, if that's a standard, I got to go up to another level. What also changed me a lot is obviously having a kid, because, you know, that changed everything for me, because I was like, well, the way I looked up to my dad, I also want my kid to look up to me like that. So I was like, I want him to know that his dad was a bad man. So, you know, that's why I you know, after that, I decided to go to another level where I'm like, I got to accomplish a bunch of stuff, whether it's, you know, winning, you know, championships or individual awards. And, you know, I got to make sure that he knows that, yeah, his dad was something else.
I read somewhere where you had one real dramatic moment in your life when you were in Kansas. There was somebody on the team that dunked on you real hard that you didn't take real well. Tell me about that. Do you remember? I think that I read somewhere that you were so disappointed. Did you cry? You went back to your room? You were all upset? What was that about?
Well, it was, you know, I mean, that was like, you know, I had just gone to college, and you got to remember this. That was like, what? That was my, like, third year after I just started playing basketball. And, you know, I got to the U.S. my junior year. I played JV, and then I had to transfer to another school to get a chance to, you know, play, you know, with the senior team. And so I get to college, and, you know, I knew I wasn't ready. And, you know, we all played pickup basketball, and, you know, Tariq Black got the ball, dunked on me, and I actually fell. And there was the women's basketball team that was around too. Everybody was like, laughing, and I felt so ashamed, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm ready for this. So I talked to Coach Self. I was like, Coach, I think I got a red shirt my freshman year, and then he was like, are you kidding me? You're gonna be the #1 pick in 2 years. But I didn't believe him because before I went to college, everybody was telling me about how college coaches always lie and you can't believe them and they're gonna tell you what you want to hear, but it's not true. So after he told me that, I'm like, man, he's a lie, whatever. I'm just moving on. I'm just gonna try to make sure I get my degree. But I mean, he was right because I mean, I ended up only staying for 1 year, but yeah, that's what happened.
You have such a never say die attitude because even going through that, where the guy dunked on you and you were a little confused and you kept pressing forward, which is a sign of a winner. And then also, you got hurt and you didn't play for like 2 years. How in the world did you stay confident over those 2 years to come back the way you came back? You came back and blew it all away.
Yeah, I mean, it was really 3 years because my third year I only played 31 games and I actually got hurt again. You know, obviously during that time too, me and my family, we went through, something hard too. I lost my little brother, so that was like, that was so tough on all of us. And at that time, I actually wanted to quit basketball. Like I remember going home and I didn't want to come back because I was like, what's the point? I should have stayed home in the first place. And I should have never left in the first place. And, I ended up coming back. And like you said, the love of the game, me wanting to be better and successful and prove people wrong is what, just pushed me. Like I just kept hearing everything. And then I was like, you know what? That's all. I've always been that way where I like when people challenge me and they tell me that I can't do something, and then I go out the next day and I actually show them that I can do it.
It's amazing that you went from starting to play basketball at 15 or 16 years old, and 10 years later, you're one of the best basketball players in the world. That doesn't happen, or hasn't ever happened. You're the only person I ever heard that started playing at that age, and all of a sudden, in 10 years, got to the point of being one of the best players that's ever played. That's an incredible achievement.
Well, I got a long way to go. I'm not, I don't think I'm close to where I want to be. I think there's, so much more I can improve when it comes to my game, and and doing whatever it takes to actually help my team win what matters the most. But I think I'm on the right path, but I got a long way to go.
That's really the nice way to put it, because it's hard to impress yourself. You know what I mean? You know how far you can go.
Yeah, I believe in myself. So, and I just got to go out and do it.
Tell me about the Sixers. I know that you've been dying to get up there and get in the playoffs and win a championship. How close do you feel your team is?
We're pretty close. I've been saying it the whole season. I think for us to win, we have to be perfect. Milwaukee has won a championship. Boston just went to the finals, so all their guys, they got a lot of experience. And then for us, we had to be perfect. I got to show up. James has to show up. Tyrese has to show up. The bench guys, they got to do their job. So when we play at our best, I think we got a chance. We got a chance against anybody. So I'm excited. All these years, all these past playoffs, feel like it's been unfortunate because I've had a bunch of freak injuries. So all I want is, a playoff run, injury-free, where I can just go out and dominate and not have to worry about anything. But I think as a team, we got a pretty good chance, but we just need everybody just needs to do their job.
So it must feel pretty good to be always in that MVP race.
It does. It just shows you that you must be doing something right. And I've been fortunate to be in the running for it the last 3 years. The last 2 could have gone either way, but I wasn't lucky enough to be the one to win it. But I'm just worried about the right things. I just want to make sure I win basketball games every single night and I dominate, and everything is going to take care of itself. At the end of the day, I don't control who votes. I don't vote. So all I can do is focus on the right things, which is, like I said, winning and dominating offensively and defensively every single night.
Did you probably didn't know that I have a little history at the 76ers. You didn't know that, did you?
Who was it? AR? Maybe.
Yeah, no, me.
Oh, you?
Because I'm a great athlete. I'm a great athlete.
Yeah.
Here, take a look at this. This is my time when I played with the Sixers. Watch this.
Ahmad runs here. Charlie sets here. Luke, step into the lane. You'll set second. Ricky, you'll set third. So Ahmad, you go off run, keep going. Charlie hooks you out here.
Johnny Dawkins dribbles into the front court. Dawkins head of the circle. Dawkins dribbles around to the left. The pass to Rashad. A 20-foot jumper is good. Rashad turned and shot. It wasn't pretty, but he's on the board.
That's what I'm talking about.
How many points did you score for the Sixers?
I only shot once.
Yeah.
So I shot 1,000%.
Yeah, that's nice.
There was 2 points, but I went right to the bench and sat down. And I was through, retired.
That's nice.
But that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Absolutely.
You should have gotten more opportunities.
I didn't want to have anybody get cut from the team if I would have just kept shooting.
That's nice of you.
That's right. One thing I want to ask you too. So when you returned to Africa, to the Basketball Without Borders as a star, what was that like returning? Because it was only 10 years prior that you just kind of just barely got there. When you came back as a big star. What was that like?
It meant a lot because I was, that's basically where it started, where I really got the opportunity to, get a scholarship to come to the U.S. and to be able to come back and see where it started and obviously meet the next generation and have the opportunity to be able to help them. Meant a lot. So I was excited to be around, the kids. Just like, when I was there, I was excited when there was a bunch of NBA players that were also there. Just wanted to do as much as possible to try to help them, talk to them, be around them, because that's what I wanted when I was there.
I remember when we met down in South Africa. Where's that picture at? This is one of my pictures that I got here in my house hanging up.
Yeah.
That was me and you down there in Africa. That was wonderful.
Yes, sir.
I heard you wanted to be an astronaut. Did you let that go now? You don't want to do that anymore,
huh? Yeah, I think I got too tall for that. That dream died a long time ago. Yeah, I wish I could have, but yeah, I got too tall.
Hey, man, I appreciate everything, man. Good luck. Championships are definitely going to be coming your way, and thank you very much. You know what? You're my newest main man, though. You know that.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you very much, man, and good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Hey, man, that was fun. I hope that wasn't too long.
No, it was great. It was great. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hopefully we get to see each other soon.